Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of the LAMP stack installation. In this video we are going to install the L of the system, which is the Linux operating system. If you followed the first video, we have just finished creating the virtual environment within VirtualBox. And right now would probably be a good time to introduce some of you to snapshots. One of the greatest features of virtualization is the ability to take snapshots of entire systems. So say you were creating a complex machine or troubleshooting a piece of software. Well, historically, if you encountered a problem or had a complete systems failure, you would have to start over from scratch. Snapshots allow you to save as you go, much like a video game does. This way, if you have a total failure or you want to go back and start again, you can quickly load your last snapshot and be on your way. Now, a snapshot will not help you with hardware failure, just failure of the software running within the VM. I can tell you from experience that snapshots have saved my skin several times over. Okay, taking snapshots in VirtualBox couldn't be easier. All you have to do is click on this little snapshots icon right here at the top right. Okay, and you click on this little picture of a camera. And now you have to name your snapshot. Now I want something that's a little bit descriptive so I know what the snapshot is of. So I'm going to say pre-OS. And in here I'm going to say ready to take OS. Okay. Now all we have to do is click OK. Now a quick word of caution, however, for snapshots. Snapshots can take up a massive amount of space, so space limitations and job requirements should always be taken into consideration. You can delete old snapshots that you don't need anymore to save space, so just keep those things in mind. Later on, I'm going to show you how to load a snapshot. Now that we have our virtual machine created, we can start installing the Linux operating system. Step 1 is to double click on the virtual machine that you created. And it's going to load up here. And now it's going to ask for the installation media. So you click that, which is a little file icon right here. You can see that's my desktop. I'm going to double click Ubuntu here for my installation media and click Start. Okay, the system right now is asking for your default language. It's going to be English. And we're going to install Ubuntu server. Now it's asking for the installation language. We're going to use English, United States. And we're going to select No on Auto Detect Keyboard Layout. And then we're going to use English US and English US again. The system is now asking for the network name. This will be the name that appears anytime someone views or browses the network. You can only select numbers, letters, and the minus symbol for your network name. You also cannot use the minus symbol at the beginning or the end of the name. For example, if I type in a name that has spaces or uses an underscore, the system will return it as invalid. The goal should be to create a name that is descriptive enough to determine its use. So I'm going to call mine VM for virtual machine and LAMP. Now when I browse the network, it's going to say VM LAMP. And I think that's pretty well descriptive. Next, you will need to create a basic user account. This is a full name account that the system uses for things like emailing off messages from the server. However, we don't need a full name account for this tutorial, so you can use an abbreviated or made up name if you wish. I'm just going to call mine James Allen. Now I will use an abbreviated name, industry standard, as first letter and last name. Next, you're going to want to set up a strong password for your user. Strong, but easy to remember. And re-enter and verify the password. And we don't need hard drive encryption for this tutorial. And my time zone is correct for Pacific time. And we're going to use the guided use entire disk and setup LVM option. And we only have one hard drive in our VirtualBox system. And we're going to write the changes to disk. I'm going to reduce this just a little bit. That way I'm below what I preset in the VM setup for this virtual machine at 80 gigs. Now we just need to confirm our changes here and write it to disk. Okay, now it's going to continue installing and it's going to take a few, so I'll pause the video here and I will be back. Okay, now it's asking for my proxy settings. At this time, I do not need proxy, and I won't be going over that in the tutorial, so I will just continue. And I will also select no automatic updates. However, if I was in a production environment, I would usually use third-party software to do my updates anyway. Okay, we can install the LAMP server directly through this installation media. However, that's very specific to this installation media. We want to be able to do it in multiple Linux versions, no matter what version we use. So I am going to scroll down and tab out of this, and hit tab, and then hit continue. Okay, this is going to take a second, so I'm going to pause the video right here, and I will be back. Okay, and yes, we want to load the grub. And now we are done. All we have to do is click the continue button and let the system reboot now. Okay, now all we have to do is enter our username and password. Okay, all done. Linux is installed. Now what happens if something went wrong? Say you forgot your username and password, or something got corrupt when you were doing your installation. Earlier when I told you to take a snapshot, we can actually go back and redo the whole installation process again without having to create a new virtual machine itself. So I'm going to run you through the procedure of restoring a virtual machine snapshot. Okay, to do this, all we have to do is go up to this X up here in the corner and click on it. And we're going to power off like we don't even care about the machine. And we're going to go here, right click on this, and hit restore snapshot. Go ahead and hit enter. Now this is going to be the name of where we are at right now. So we could return back to where we just left. So we're just going to give it a name real quick here, whatever. And then we're going to come down and hit OK. Okay, then we're going to go up to our actual snapshot, right click, go restore snapshot, hit restore. Okay, now we're right back where we were, 35 minutes ago. But there's a catch when you do this. When you actually go to run this virtual machine, you're going to run into a little problem. Go ahead and hit start. The installation media is no longer there. That's a one-time deal for VirtualBox. Once you pass that initial installation, it no longer puts the ISO file automatically up there or even asks you for it. So to fix that, what you do is you go up here into the settings, and then we need to go into the storage. And then once in the storage, you can see that where the CD tray is empty, we just click the CD over here, select the installation media, and hit OK. Then we hit start. And there we go, right back to where we were 35 minutes ago. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you join me next time as we continue on with AMP, Apache, MySQL, and PHP.